Yo, I'm excited to say that my YouTube video today is sponsored by an incredible online training program called Jacked and Athletic. I personally use this program when I'm not working on formulating my own training myself. It is for college, post-grad, working adults, anyone who loves to get in the gym and train hard. It's on an incredible app, comes with demo videos, instructions, a community chat feature. It is consistently updated and will help you reach your goals. If you want to try it free for 7 days, check out the link in the show notes. Hope to see you on it. Today's video is simple. We're going over my 3 favorite ab exercises that I believe have gotten me the most results, strength, visually, and overall progression in terms of training my core. It's really important to note that there are a lot of things that go into having visually visible abs, not just the training itself, although we are kind of understanding and it is being more accepted in the training and fitness community that training your abs and core musculature like other muscles, like your biceps, like your chest, like your glutes, progressive overload, a variety of movements for proportional development is absolutely key. Ab muscles can be built, they can be grown, they can be strengthened. So it is no longer just these body weight exercises will suffice. Unless obviously you have a very low training age, haven't done much work in the gym, that can be plenty. But over time, you will need to progress. You can't be doing things like flutter kicks or hollow holds your entire life if you actually want to see your abs develop and grow. Another huge component is the importance of diet and nutrition. People used to say and go as far as to say that abs are built in the kitchen. And while part of that is true, I think a more accepted terminology now would be that abs are revealed in the kitchen. So yes, you do need to be at a certain body fat percentage, so to speak, to have visible abs. But just like anything else, biceps, glutes, whatever, you name the example, you can grow that muscle to be more visible. So it's not 100% about diet. It's not 100% about the strength training movements we use. But these 3 that I'm going to go over and show you today are my 3 of my favorite. And I have had great results with myself and also people that I've trained. So let's do this thing. Okay, number 1, we are going to start out with a hanging knee raise. There are a couple ways that you can scale this exercise to make it easier or to make it a little bit more advanced. Your base version, though, however, is going to require this be on a squat rack to have this barbell set up against your back. This is going to help keep your body stable, so that way when you pull your legs up using your core, you aren't swinging around. So I go ahead, grab these bars. I like a neutral grip setup on this. It just feels more comfortable and I can hang for longer. You can, however, do a normal hang position, but I'm going to stick to the neutral grip for this one. The bar placement, I like it around the midline of my back. You're going to relax your body, let your core stretch out. And what I'm going to do is I'm really going to think about crunching for my abs, pulling my knees up, and controlling down. Starting from the bottom, think about that bottom set of your ab. Crunch up, control down, just like that. The key here is the control. On the way down, you are really maintaining that sort of tightness in your core as you let your knees go down and your core muscles lengthen. Okay, so that's the key right there. I'll show you the next setup. So in terms of making this a little bit harder, there's a couple things we can do here. One would be remove the bar. You wouldn't have this stabilizing you anymore. You would actually need to use your core strength to help keep your body from swinging, okay? That is a really advanced movement. I actually don't even touch on that very much myself, just because I feel like when I go without the bar supporting me, I can't get the actual direct ab work that I'm looking to get, the purpose of why I'm using this exercise. So what I think is a valid next step after those hanging knee raises become easier is leg raise. You just keep them nice and straight. Just like that, same exact thing, crunching and controlling down, okay? The reason this is a little bit harder, obviously, is because we're lengthening the lever arm. Our weight is out here as opposed to just right here, okay? This will make it more challenging. I still use both. The leg raises are difficult, and the final boss of this series, I'd say, is a toe to bar. This would be basically achieving max range of motion. The bar against your back is pretty key on this one. I have seen people do it without, but not me. You'll all the way up and control. So huge squeeze, really crunching all the way up and slowly lowering those legs. It is pretty difficult for me to get sore from doing an ab movement. I spend a lot of time working on abs. The first time I did toes to bar, I woke up the next day and I could feel it. And that's not always necessarily something you should be chasing. But as a trainer, as a coach, it is a good way for me to know, oh, wow, this exercise really is targeting what I want it to be targeting. Moving on to number 2. This ought to be probably one of the most slept on exercises, not even just ab exercises, but exercises as a whole. Not only will it train your core in the frontal plane, so side to side bending like this, it's a great way and beginner way to load your spine a bit and train some spine lateral bending mobility. Okay? So look, what I'm not advising is that if you've never done weighted side bends, to just grab the heaviest dumbbell you can find and start cranking them out. Terrible idea. I mean, you're almost guaranteeing injury or pain, okay? So this is something that needs to be progressed very carefully and slowly built up. So for someone who's just starting, I mean, 10 to 15 pounds can be plenty for this. Hold the dumbbell to your side, hand behind your head. You let that dumbbell slide down, and once you feel that stretch, maybe I should do it on the other side, get a better visual. Once you feel that stretch right here, that's as low as you need to go. You don't need to force it any more than that. Stand it up, okay? So there is a lengthening component. And then the muscle shortening right there. That is the strength and the ab portion that's being discussed. But also, like I said, the bending of our spine laterally can be a great thing for someone who has a stiff back pain. I seriously swear by these. Obviously, exercises can be at an individual, can be, how do I want to put this? Can be analyzed at an individual level because, you know, one exercise might not work well for one person and it might work absolutely incredible for another. So while these, I believe, when done right, when progressed properly, are absolutely phenomenal and completely slept on, maybe you have an underlying condition with your back. Maybe they just don't feel right and this isn't the right one for you. However, I have found that these have helped me a ton, and that's why they're in the top 3. All right, number 3. If you follow me, seen any of my training before, you probably knew that this was coming. I just feel like there is no better way to load your core than a cable crunch. And we have a couple of different ways that we can do this. And it's kind of up to you to decide which one feels best and which one you truly think that you can load your core and feel it where you are supposed to. So here's your first option. I'm actually going to go facing outward from the cable rack. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. I'll talk kind of loud here. You can use any attachment, by the way, rope, straight bar, put 2 handles on there. It's kind of a personal preference. I've got my tush up against the actual bar, and I'm gonna crunch using my core. Don't use your neck. Don't pull with your lats. Squeeze with the core. Control the lengthening position. See how I'm kind of arcing my back right here? And then pulling my elbows to my knees. Couple reps right there. I already felt that. That is one of the ways that you can set this up. Another way would be turning and facing this way. This does require a little bit more of attention to your technique. I'm going to change this out just to show you guys another option. You could take rope off, and you could actually just use something like this, 2 handles, depending on what you have available to you. You hook these guys on there. Down on your knees, you're going to scooch back a tad bit. I'm going to chat to you guys through the mic still. Hopefully you can still hear this. Okay, and what I'm doing, I'm putting my forearms against my head, okay? Trying to lock them into position. I've got my knees back, but for the most part, this cable right here is moving straight up and down, not way out here, okay? It should be pretty vertical. Again, my spine is a little bit arced, okay? My abs are stretched. I'm crunching, pulling my elbows to my knees, and controlling up. The most important thing when you're doing this, you have to have a constant thought and be just thinking about using your core. Don't get lazy. This can't really be a passive exercise. You have to be intentful in making sure that you're crunching using your core, controlling on the way back up. But wow, if you are consistent with these, I really credit cable crunches to a majority of my ab development. Like I said about the previous exercise, if you haven't done these, you do need to start lighter. Build that foundation first, take your time, then you can focus more about weight, how hard you're going. But it really does not take much, especially if you haven't done these before, to see some incredible progress.